Hey guys, here we go with another video again. Sorry to get this out to you so late. However, I did say that, my videos weren't gonna be, same time every day. But here we go. We're gonna start with Genesis 46. This is talking about Jacob's journey to Egypt. As we remember at the end of Genesis 45, Joseph's brothers went back to Canaan with the instructions from Pharaoh and Joseph to bring Jacob to Egypt so that they could settle in Goshen, the most profitable region of Egypt. So, and I want to also apologize in advance because here it's going to be naming some of the grandsons, and descendants of Jacob, and I'm not too good with these names. So I want to apologize in advance for the names because I will get most of, if not all of them, wrong. However, y'all understand the important parts of this passage. So here we go. The beginning of the chapter 46 of Genesis was subtitled Jacob's Journey to Egypt. So Jacob set out for Egypt with all his possessions, and when he came to Beersheba, he offered sacrifices to the God of his father Isaac. Then in the night, God spoke to him in a vision. Jacob, 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 he called. Here I am, Jacob replied. I am God, the God of your father. The voice said, do not be afraid to go down to Egypt, for there I will make your family into a great nation. I will go with you down to Egypt, and I will bring you back again. You will die in Egypt, but Joseph will be with you to close your eyes. So Jacob left Beersheba, and his sons took him to Egypt. They carried him and their little ones and their wives in the wagons Pharaoh had provided for them. They also took all their livestock and all the personal belongings they had acquired in the land of Canaan. So Jacob and his entire family went to Egypt. Sons and grandsons, daughters and granddaughters, all his descendants. These are the names of all the descendants of Israel, the sons of Jacob who went to Egypt. Reuben was Jacob's oldest son. The sons of Reuben were Hanosh, Palu, Haran, and Crami. The sons of Simeon were Jamel, Jeman, Ohad, Jachin, Zohar, and Shaul. Shaul's mother was a Canaanite woman. The sons of Levi were Gershon, Kohash, and Merari. The sons of Judah were and yes, it says one of his sons were really named as in ER, just so y'all know. Onan, Sheila, Perez, and Zerah. Though and Onan had died in the land of Canaan. The sons of Perez were Hezron, and Hamal. The sons of Issachar were Tola, Paha, Jahab, and Shurmon. Again, I'm sorry guys, I'm really bad with names back in this time period. The sons of Zebulun were Shared, Elon, and Jaleel. These were the sons of Leah and Jacob, who were born in Padanaram. In addition to their daughter Dinah, or I guess you pronounce it Dinah. The number of Jacob's descendants, male and female, through Leah was 33. The sons of Gad were Zebron, Kagi, Shanani, Zebon, Eri, Eri, Aradi, and Ariel. Or I guess you pronounce it Ariel or Ariel. Areli. Not really sure. The sons of Asher were Anan, Isha, Esli, and Braha. Their sister was Sarah. Braha's son were Heber and Michael, I don't know. The servant given to Leah by her father, Laban, The number of her father Laban, the servant given to Leah by her father Laban, the number of Jacob's descendants through Zilpah was 16. The sons of Jacob's wife Rachel were Joseph and Benjamin. Joseph's sons, born in the land of Egypt, were Manasseh and Ephraim. Their mother was Asnash, daughter of Pothera, the priest of On. Benjamin's sons were Bela, Becher, Rosh, Maprim, Hopram, and Ard. These were the sons of Rachel and Jacob. The number of Jacob's descendants through Rachel was 14. The son of Dan was Hashram. The son of Nahafti was Jazil, Ganji, Jazir, and Shalom. These were the sons of Bilhah, the servant given to Rachel by her father Laban. The number of Jacob's descendants through Bilhah was 7. The total number of Jacob's direct descendants who went with him to Egypt, not counting his sons' wives, was 66. In addition, Joseph had 2 sons who were born in Egypt. So altogether, there were 70 members of Jacob's family in the land of Egypt. Okay. So, that was Genesis 46, verses 1 to 27, where, it says here that Jacob and his sons and grandchildren and their wives, not the grandchildren's wives, the sons' wives, but it says that they all began their journey to Egypt. I will point something out. I'm not sure if there's any significance to it. However, I do not believe that God does anything by coincidence. I used to believe that before I really knew God, but however, I don't believe that currently. And let me go back and see where it says the thing that drew my attention. Okay, right here where we're talking about the descendants of Jacob that were directly through Leah. Keep in mind, Leah is the wife that Jacob wasn't looking for. Because Laban knew that, culturally speaking, the oldest daughter must be married first, and Leah was older, thus she was to be married to him before Rachel. That's why, if you go back and look at that part of Jacob's story, Jacob works for Laban for 14 years instead of just the original 7 that they had agreed to. But the reason I bring that up is I find it interesting that it says the total number of descendants, both male and female, that Jacob has through Leah, his first wife, is 33. And if you know the story of Jesus, you know that Jesus dies at 33. That's when the crucifixion takes place. Now, I'm not saying there's any correlation between the number of Jacob's descendants given to him by Leah and the age in which Jesus, dies. However, if you pay attention, Jacob's descendants points a direct line to Jesus himself. So I just find that, an interesting thing to be brought up here. Because again, I don't believe God does anything by coincidence. And I don't believe that was put in the Bible by coincidence either. I'm not really sure what you learn from this part of the passage, other than, Jacob has a bunch of family members, a bunch of descendants that are going with him to Goshen, or Egypt. Sorry, Goshen is the part of Egypt in which they will settle. However, I will say that, we see it in the beginning of this part of the passage. God comes to Jacob in a dream and tells him, don't be afraid to go to Egypt. He said, I will make your family a great nation. And this is really part of that journey, as is, everything else that God does is part of a journey for everybody. Those who believe in Him, as well as those who don't believe in Him. However, so we see that even in this moment, I think Jacob has reservations. Why? Because one, I think he's not. Well, one, he's leaving the home he's on for a very long time because he's trusting that God has a plan for him in Egypt, in which God does have a plan. But two, he's leaving what's comfortable, right? And God calls us to step out of the comfortable and into the uncomfortable, so that God can be the one to build our faith and shape our faith into something stronger than it already is. And I used to think, and this is, very early on in my walk, that once I accept God into my life and I do a baptism, a baptism is an outward expression of I accept God into my life, and now I'm showing you that I've done that. And I used to think that was just good enough. I'm not gonna lie to you. My first year in the church was probably, I wouldn't say it was my greatest time of growth, but I would say that that's where the most growing took place in my faith, because even after getting in church, and then the first 3 months into my walk, and I did my first baptism. However, I will say that I've done a second baptism since. Earlier last year I did a second baptism, and the reason why I did the second baptism is because in those 5 years between 2017 and 2022, I came to realize that back in 2017, when I took that step, when I did the baptism and all of that, first of all, when I accepted God into my life at 27, and then I'm doing that outward expression of baptism, I did not completely understand what I was committing to. Fast forward to age 32, I do a second baptism, because in that moment I have a better understanding of, this is what I'm committing to, this is what I believe, and let's get that done. Right? And I say that to say this, by Jacob taking the rest of his family and going from Canaan, the place where he's most comfortable, to Egypt, to a place where he will be uncomfortable, at least for the immediate future, he's showing the same kind of faith in God that it takes for us today to say, God, you are my Father, you are the guiding light, you are who I choose to follow, and then to go and say, hey, I'm showing this outward expression by baptism. This is how I choose to show the world that I no longer belong to the world, but I belong to God. Now, Jacob could have got baptized, but I think in this moment, he's showing that, at least for him, baptism isn't enough. And I don't know, maybe I'm missing something. Maybe Jacob did get baptized earlier in life, and that's just something I forgot. Or maybe he didn't, but in this moment, he's showing that even though he's going from a comfortable situation and stepping into an uncomfortable situation by going from Canaan to Goshen, that's what it means to have real faith and to show real faith in God, and to know that no matter what happens to him in Goshen for the next 17 years, that God has him and he's already equipped, that son that he hasn't seen in the last, many years, to be the one to aid Jacob in the rest of his life, right? But this is where we talk about Jacob and Joseph's biggest blessing, is that moment where they meet up again. And this is the beginning of that, And it's crazy to think that if God, I think about it like this. I think when God enters that vision, that dream, whatever it was, for Jacob in this moment, that he's just reassuring Jacob that God has him even in Egypt. Especially in Egypt. What am I saying? And so, I think what we can take from this part of the story, and I'll continue with chapter 46 in the next video. But I think what we can take from this story, or this part of the story, is to believe in God and step out in faith, and step away from the comfortable and step into the uncomfortable, and knowing that when we step into the uncomfortable, God already has a plan to make us prosper in the uncomfortable, maybe even more than we did when we were in the comfortable. So I want y'all to take that and think about it. Anyway, that's it for tonight, guys. I'm sorry once again for getting this to you guys so late. It's after midnight my time right now, so it's 12:03 in the morning. So I'll be getting this video posted for you guys early tomorrow morning. Well, maybe not early, but as soon as I wake up, I'll be publishing this video. And again, thank you for your patience, guys, and know that I will try to get better at setting apart some time to put these out on a more regular basis. Anyway, love you guys. stay prayed up, and stay blessed. And again, if you like what you heard, please like, subscribe, comment, and share if you think there's somebody in your life that can learn from these videos, because I am nothing more than a vessel for God, as we all should be. Alright guys, again, I'm going to sign out for the night. Love you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.